Hello, this is Pigsy, doing another video. It's probably quite dark. I'm going down to some sort of dark area. It might pick up in a bit with the light. So, just talking about things today will be talk about heartbreak. That's something I've experienced recently. I mean, for me, it was basically I misinterpreted a friendship, and as a result, I lost somebody who could be potentially a best mate. Hopefully, I can restore it using a slow method of well, first, if you're in a situation where you've actually fallen for someone, is you want to get yourself back to normal, because you can't interact with a person if you've got sort of an emotional attachment still there. So the first thing I've used is, I mean, yeah, I went for a lot actually of suffering at first. So get off your stimulants, don't have your tea and coffee. Valerian root, lavender tea is good. There's a batch flower. You can get these remedies that are in there. You don't want to be taking loads of drugs or things. You don't want to take aspirin. Does work for heartache, but however, you don't want to take a load of aspirins either. That's not great for you. So yeah, so go to these sort of the herbal end of the spectrum, and then you want to sort your brain out. Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to accept responsibility. When you keep saying sorry, you're not accepting responsibility. You're saying, you know, I had these feelings, but however they came out in the wrong way. So you're not really saying I shouldn't have had them feelings, and you know I've messed up. So first you say, look, I'm responsible for that. I'm sorry. It's my fault, and I accept that fully. Because you don't want any blame to go onto her, and she doesn't want to have any of your internal anger or any issues like that. So get that out of your system, and then the next phase would be some cognitive work. I used to what I call cognitive therapy. It works quite well actually. Lovely. So first you've got to re-establish that you love yourself. You say, I love myself, she's just a friend. I love myself, she's just a friend. I love myself, she's just a friend. And you repeat this as much as you can in your head, because what you're trying to do is that you've got is parts of your brain are quite infantile in essence. They're not very well developed. So if you've got areas where your feelings are involved for a bloke, they probably don't listen to any logic. So you just go off and do stuff. You know, like when you get angry, you just want to be angry, and it's not very organised in that sense. But for guys, I mean, things like anger, they can definitely develop controls over, but not unless they fall in love all the time. Will they actually have any sort of system in place for control on it, any sort of mechanism? And so what you need to do is just that cognitive thing works, internal dialogue. Now, if you start saying nice things about yourself, you should actually feel something from it as well. So if you've got your intention there, you should actually feel some sort of good feeling. You know, like say, I love myself. And you might sing it to yourself, or whatever you need to do to get that in your brain. So you listen, but then you'll notice that the heartache will disappear, because what you're doing is saying, look, this is the truth, right? You love yourself, okay? You're special, and this person, because you're accepting as a mistake, this person is just your friend. You need to get that into your head, just your friend. So you basically compound it into your brain a bit, so that your brain processes it and thinks, okay, this person's a friend, and you love yourself, right? And the reason you have to tell yourself you love yourself is because what happens is when these certain networks in your brain fire up, they produce, you get, I think it's like oxytocin or something. They're basically where you've got dopamine and you've got other endorphins and so on. So this is more of the top level. So basically it's like you've had a hit of opium and you are well addicted to it. Every time you meet this person, they will trigger this dopamine. However, your brain just said you're not getting any more, and you're having a withdrawal symptom. And that's why you have this bloody heartache. And it's so annoying, and you cannot get rid of it, and you're obsessed because you've got a chemical addiction to a person, which you can't really control in the same way. So you've got to re-establish a new connection of the feel-good factor. So you've got to love yourself, or find something that gives you back this basically chemical high. This is why people have rebounds and stuff like that. They're basically trying to block it out by using some other method, so going to somebody else. But if that doesn't work, obviously you don't want to be doing rebounds and using people, but you might want to try to find some way of channeling that. And yeah, I mean, I've had it really bad once, but that was a long time ago. And I think it gets better the more you experience it. But however, if you don't go around dating all the time and chasing people, and you just meet people, and sometimes you have this trigger, you really like them, it's not always going to be so easy. Or it could be that you had a pretty crappy relationship, you got a divorce, taken time out, and then you think to yourself, you know what, I want to settle down. So in the back of your mind, you've seeded the idea of what kind of relationship you want. You know, I've had enough of this, I've had enough of that, I want something different. And so you've laid out the foundations for it. Now, where you can go through a massive amount of pain is you basically imprint what your values onto somebody else. And if the person said, you know what, I'm not even attracted to you, and well, they said something really cutting, it would actually drop you right down on your self-esteem. It would almost drop you on your face, basically. It would really hit you hard. And so I've heard about this, but people take years to heal out of stuff. And it also depends what's happened, what this person's done behind their back. So it's a bit more complicated. So, and the other thing is you may have other issues when you first have an emotional trauma. Is your mood to be low? You're not necessarily depressed. Depression is when you things you can't recover from. So a low mood is, you know, it's not like the end of the world. There are other people out there, and you may get to salvage a friendship once you sort your head out. However, it might not. So you have to approach, that's the next one, how do you approach that? Well, you want to give the woman loads of space. You do not want to go leaping in there, firing off messages, being compulsive, basically battering her down emotionally and psychologically. It won't work, and it will make the whole thing completely crap. I mean, for me, I've sent a few emails, I sent no text messages, past the point where I got on her nerves. So for me, I basically sent a romantic email, and it kind of upset her because I was on a completely different page, and then she's thinking, well, he's having all these weird thoughts about me, can I trust this guy? And I said, I can't really trust him anymore, so I think I'm going to kick him out of my life. So that's what happened basically to me. She said, look, I've had all this crap before, blah blah blah. Always she's had stuff before in the past, and she wasn't very comfortable. She's dealing with a few things, etc, etc. So I won't go into too much detail because it's not really important for this talk anyway. And but the only thing is, what I do learn is how you're going to approach the situation. So for me, I thought, well, I tell you what, if you want to show you care and you have a compulsion to show you care, and that's because of your personality type, you don't really have much. I mean, you can try to resist it, but it's always niggling away. So what you do is send a little gift. The gift is a token gift. Gifts are not going to be necessarily misinterpreted. He throws it in the bin, It doesn't really matter, because you've done something that makes you feel better, and you're hoping that makes the person feel better. She's obviously going to know you're not going to be one of these guys that are going to really boot a door in or something if you send her little gifts in the post, because there's none of this tied up emotion. Your generosity. So for women, attractive features are security, generosity, things like that, abundance. So when you're going sorry, it's not you're nagging for them to respond to you. You're firing a question at them. You're saying if what you did can be forgiven, and all these other things, and they're just not into it. They're like, will you just bugger off? And it's because the mentality's different. I guess for guys, we just see where we want to go in life and just keep charging forward, a bit like some bloody rhino or something, but it doesn't always work. So send a gift, but then slow down. Don't send loads of gifts. Slow that pace down, like one a month, a thoughtful gift. And then, so for me, I sent a few little things like crystals or something, because I know this person likes them, and this isn't me trying to manipulate her, just because she does listen to this video, who knows, she might do. It's about me actually acknowledging a wrong and trying to find a way to put it right. And I don't know the answer, but I'm trying a different method. Because I can't make someone read my stuff. But if I send them a goodie, they can choose what to do with that goodie. They don't have to keep it. But if it's intentionally kind and loving, I don't see anything wrong. It's not like I said, someone flowers really. So that'll probably be the next stage. Is I'll probably just send a nice bouquet of flowers, a little message, and it would just, basically speak from the heart. Say, sorry you lost a friend, and how you felt about her friendship. She's always funny or she's always entertaining. Tell them what they really you mean and they would like to hear. And no negatives in there. You don't want to say, I'm so sorry for what I've done. It's not that you don't want to acknowledge it, it's just not the right time. And you might think, oh, he's a chauvinist, he hasn't even apologised yet. But it's possibly that you want to, what you want to do is make her happy. You're not trying to make her feel bad. It's not a guilt trip. You want to take her somewhere positive. So you say the truth, and it sounds like I've got some weird strategy. It's not really. It's just when you think about things, you want to find a way forward in yourself. And so send her flowers, and just give her loads of space. And then at some point in the future, she either responds or she doesn't respond. And then maybe a few months down the line, just pop round her with some flowers and just ask her how she is, and just say, look, I just wanted to see how you are. And sorry I made such a mess of things. And depending on what she looks like, if she looks like she's scared to death because you just turned up at her doorstep, then to say, look, here's some flowers. I'm sorry I've disturbed you, and don't worry. I just wanted to see you're okay. It looks like you're doing all right. Okay, and then leave. leave the situation. If you can talk to the person, fine. You can, but then just stay at the doorstep. I won't be sort of like, oh yeah, come and have coffee. I'd love to have a coffee with her, but if I've messed up that far, there's probably no way back. But at least in myself, I've done everything I felt correct to try to bridge that gap. So it's a bit of a weird video, this one, but at least I've touched upon something where you have this bloody thing. It's like you're on some super drug, and it really messes you up. And maybe that's why men don't. That's the difference between men and women, is that maybe they have a massive amount gets dumped in a bloke to try to create him, to make him loyal and everything else. As a result, it also makes him a complete jerk as well, and he does not know how to deal with it. I don't know. Well, some women are like that. I've seen some nutty women try to smash a car up in the car park because the guy had, he'd got what he wanted out of her, but he'd cut her cold, and that coldness had sent her loopy because she's got an emotional attachment that can't be fulfilled. She needs a contact to fix it. And it's the same with this other person. I don't have any contact with her directly, and I need to demonstrate my ability to deal with that. If people don't have the ability to deal with that, if she's doing a kindness, she's like, well, I need to step away, because you can't just talk about this. You can't fix a person by talking. So yeah. Anyway, it's big to sign off, and have a great evening.